Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading, and we are reading on a rather difficult topic today. So before I do anything else, I need to warn you, give you a heads up, trigger warning if you find conversations about abuse, about possible violence, things like that in the home difficult. Please switch off, please go and do something that makes you feel better. We are dealing today with a rumor that has been on Tumblr for quite a while. I'd see it when it popped up. It's been on my list of things to look at, but as usual, events got away from us and I'm only getting around to it now. And this is the rumor that was on Tumblr and has been picked up elsewhere, that allegedly Meghan and her mother are treating Harry rather badly, shall we just say. They are careful, according to this rumor, not to leave visible marks, and they are sneakily getting evidence of him being threatening and attacking back. So that's what we're dealing with. Let us start by telling you we are doing this reading with the Urban Tarot. There it is on the tarot table. And let us remind you that this is tarot that we are dealing with for entertainment. And we deal here with speculation, with opinion. I read archetypal energy here, and we can learn from archetypes. That's why we look at archetypes. So if you are in a similar situation where perhaps you are being mistreated by a loved one, you can perhaps learn something, see the situation from another perspective and help yourself and improve your situation. And of course, there is a disclaimer in the box below. Please read it. Please form your own opinion about this very difficult topic. I want to know, using the Urban Tarot, what is going on. We know that Meghan and Harry like to record on their phones. For Netflix, they have recorded from the word go. The proposal was recorded. The freedom flight was recorded. The nasty curtsy was recorded. All kinds of private family moments have been recorded for the sake of posterity. So it's not beyond the realms of imagination that more difficult family moments have been recorded as well, and are perhaps waiting, saved for a rainy day when they can come out and be used. So we're going to use the Urban Tarot and we're going to ask how Doria and Meghan each treat Harry in this context. Are they in some way perhaps provoking him, as this rumor suggests they may be? How he responds, if this behavior is provocative, does he respond in an aggressive way? Are they recording him perhaps amongst all the other things that they are recording? And will they use it? Are they intending to use it as some sort of pressure if there is a separation, if the marriage fails, if there is a custody battle, anything like that? Is this some sort of safety, security footage for future use, and then the outcome? So those are the questions. It's a very sensitive topic. I'm treating as carefully as I can around this topic. I need to shuffle a little bit more, but those are the questions. This is a rumor, and it is just a rumor that has been spread around, and I'm taking the temperature of the energy around this, testing it with tarot to see what the tarot wants to tell us, to see what we can learn and how we can apply those lessons to our own lives. So there we go. I think we're ready to go with the Urban Tarot. This tarot deck is one that I sometimes have to stop and pause and go and read the book, because it has got its own very particular way of interpreting the cards, naming the cards, and very often it catches me out a little bit, and then I have to go hunting, and it often sends me strange and unusual messages, and that's why I'm using this tarot deck today for this, as I keep saying, rather awkward reading. And the underlying the underlying energy is the Five of Wands in reverse. It is called strife. There is a man and a woman. They are arm wrestling. They're competing. It is a card of competition. Sometimes healthy competition, sometimes not. But we're here, we're in a family situation and we are having conflict. That is what this Five of Wands is telling me. Arm wrestling, but it is a metaphor really for something that could be more serious than just arm wrestling between a man and a woman. Unfortunately, I don't like to see this, but this is what this tarot deck has shown up. This is the energy that's coming through. This is the energy that I am reading. Strife. Card is in the reverse. It can mean hidden, that you don't see, and as this rumor says, they are careful not to leave marks, allegedly. And it can mean hidden energy. It can also mean extreme behavior, extreme conflict, extreme strife. I'm putting it over there. Don't really have space for it. These are huge cards. The Urban Tarot, they're bigger than usual tarot cards. So it can mean that the level of conflict, and I always say with the Five of Wands, it's conflict in a group, because it's where you compete and where you test each other and contest things and try and dominate. We're talking about domination here. We could even be talking about that kind of sexual behavior. Just to say as well, just a very small possibility that we're dealing with that in this card. But it's not a pleasant energy as our underlying energy. But there it is. So the cards have basically confirmed that there is some degree of conflict in this little household where allegedly the three of them all live. Not quite sure about that, but anyway, we have to go on face value. The situation, please. What does the Urban Tarot want to tell us? And we have got the Princess of Discs. It's the Page of Pentacles. And it says the kindergarten teacher. Well, I don't really think we're going to get anything from kindergarten teacher. We're dealing with children with the Page of Discs. We're dealing with somebody who is solid and reliable, and in the energy of this tarot deck in particular, somebody who would be good around children, who you would trust with your children. We have somebody in the household who is apparently trusted with the children, the grandmother. She is in the guise of a nanny at some level. She seems to be the one that Meghan trusts to be around her children, looks after them. Apparently she was the one who, she flew with them out of Canada. She's around. So we have somebody who is in some degree a caretaker, a caregiver, not a caretaker, a caregiver of children. I think that's the correct term, modern terminology, but somebody who is in reverse. So somebody who is possibly not that trustworthy, somebody who might be unreliable, who might not be that grounded, who might be quite high, the opposite of grounded, who might just not really be around as much as they should, or as grounded as they should be. And you can apply that to the entire household, not just the grandmother. You could apply it to the mother, and you could apply it to the father as well in this household, that they all might be quite erratic, they all might be high, they all might be ungrounded, they all might be missing, absent, not solid. Basically, that is what I'm getting from that card. Again, unfortunately, because there are children in this household. We're not reading on the children, but it's interesting that they have shown up anyway. And I did mention at the beginning of this video that possibly, my speculation, if they are recording, it could be used in any custody battle. And we're in Amber Heard territory here. I meant to say that in the beginning and I forgot. We're in Amber Heard territory, and basically we're looking to see in this reading if anything similar is going on here. So I want to know now how the women treat Harry. Doria first. How does Doria treat Harry? Well, we've got the Seven of Cups, and it's called debauch. And this rumor, I think it was in this particular rumor, but it might have been a similar one, says that she's the reason why he's gone quite heavily into things like ayahuasca. That Doria has encouraged him into quite excessive drug use, unconventional drug use. Let's phrase it like that rather. And there the card is confirming it for me with that debauch card, 7 of Cups. Try this, try that. It's kind of a tasting menu. It's a smorgasbord. Have a bit of this, have a bit of that. Nothing, no reason to stop. Don't need boundaries. Off you go into that Neptunian world of the cups, of debauch. Let it all hang out. Live that Californian lifestyle. And yes, let me just press the record button. I'm being snarky, just by the way, for obvious reasons I have to say that. But that is how Doria treats him. So that's very interesting, according to the energy of the cards and in my opinion, me speculating. Meghan, how does Meghan treat him in this context? We've got the 7 of Swords. And that is, it's called futility. I don't agree. I don't always agree with the keywords in this tarot deck, but they do provoke me. They do make me think, maybe in different ways, give me some new insights into tarot, which I always appreciate, rather than just getting stuck in a rut. 7 of Swords is, I'm sad to say, again, this is a sad reading, a heavy reading for me energetically, that this is criminal behavior. It can be provoking behavior, the 7 of Swords. It can be somebody who provokes, who disappears on you, who causes difficulty in a situation and then leaves. Or disappears and leaves you feeling robbed, bereft, wounded, ghosted. So it has an element of emotional manipulation, even though we're dealing with Swords. Mind games. You could say mind games. She possibly plays mind games with him. And he is not the smartest. We all know that. Even his own mother said he was thick as a plank. I'm misquoting, but it was along those lines. So somebody who is not very smart, who is the plaything, it's cat and mouse here. I'm getting that sense of somebody who is much smarter, much more cunning. I think that's a word that quite a few royal reporters and authors have used about Meghan, that she is cunning. And I'm getting that sense that she's toying with him. Interesting that we have got 2 7s here. And 7s with the mother and with the daughter. 7s are thinking cards. They are, I wanted to say thinking fast and slow. They are cards of pause before action. Disharmony. You've reached the 6, which is harmony after a period of change, and the 5 energy. You've settled into some form of harmony, and then along comes a 7 where things are agitated and stirred up again and riled up. And the one is through, possibly, according to the energy that I'm picking up here and interpreting, possibly drugs and debauchery. The other is through mind games, unsettling somebody, running rings around them. They never quite know. We get all these leaks from Sussex sources, strange things like we've had this letter saga, another letter saga, and a lot of people are saying that Harry should be looking for the source at home, not outside, but he doesn't seem to get it. That is coming through in these cards. So, okay, are they at some level trying to provoke him into behaving badly, into some sort of toxic behavior, whether it's violent or abusive, verbally or physically? What are they doing? Yes. We've got the Hanged Man, but we've got the Hanged Man in reverse. This is a terrible reading. This is an appalling reading. And I'm just reading energy. The Hanged Man is the person who is in limbo, who is hamstrung when the card is upright, who is tortured, who is made to feel guilty, who is victimized, who has to sacrifice themselves. The card has come out in the reverse, and I think it's another Neptunian energy, the Hanged Man, so that it does look a bit like him at some level, for too much hair, but so that he's spun around and he doesn't know which way is up. He's confused. That's what they're doing to him. They're confusing him. Debauch, mind games, they're confusing him, they're spinning things around, they are spinning things, and then he is cut down every now and then from that tree where he's hanging, where he's being punished, tormented, really tortured. I'm getting the idea that he's really being tortured, and I can understand when I look at that card and I feel the energy coming off it, why the royal family is so concerned about his mental health. As Lady C has pointed out repeatedly, the Maya-Ling ballet. But every now and then he's free to act, as the Hanged Man is when he is cut down and the card is in the reverse. He's free to lash out. He's free, perhaps in a drunken rage, or when he's absolutely high and he doesn't know what he's doing, or he's really medicated on something, full of pills, full of booze, whatever he's full of, then he's cut down and off you go. He's wound up and he's set off. That is the energy that I am getting. And again, I have to repeat, for obvious reasons, that this is just my interpretation. This is my sense of the energy, the archetypal energy that I'm reading, and point you again in the direction of the disclaimer. So, are they recording it? No, that's not the question. How is he behaving? Assuming this is true for the sake of argument, that they are provoking him, what does he do when he is in that state? We get the Peace card in reverse, the Two of Swords in reverse. That is potentially quite hostile behavior. The Two of Swords in reverse, it could be much worse. But the Two of Swords, when it's upright, is somebody thinking, somebody pondering, somebody who's indecisive, hesitating to act, very similar to the Hanged Man. But then again, cut loose, freed to behave, cutting. It could be verbally quite abusive with the Two of Swords, because swords are thoughts, are words. So he could really be verbally quite aggressive. Say some very nasty things, threaten all kinds of things, threaten to walk out, threaten harm, threaten anything, threaten even self-harm, because we're sitting here with a Hanged Man, which does have self-harm energy in it. So yes, things that he would hesitate to do when he's sober, when he's not wound up, when he seemingly is in this state, according to the cards, he is cut loose and he lashes out. I don't necessarily think it's physical lashing out, but definitely there is a potential here in this energy for verbal kind of conflict. And remember, we have got the Strife card as our underlying card here. So are they recording this? As they record everything else, it just makes sense for them to record. We've got the Empress, we have got a mother energy, a mother and a child. There is a possibility that they are with that card. The Empress is generally a very benign energy, a very loving, a very beautiful energy, a very attractive energy. The mother, the child, all very settled, all very calm, a very beautiful home life. But if they are recording things generally, if they're, say, recording Meghan as the good mother, there is energy around here, and there is energy because of the Strife card and because of this, the kindergarten teacher in reverse. That I'm reading that energy into here, into this Empress card. So on the surface, I'm getting that it just all looks beautiful, that you would never know. Butter wouldn't melt in that Empress's mouth. That could be grandmother with children. It could be Meghan with children. Here we are. We're the perfect women looking after your children for you, looking after you. We're so sweet. We're so lovely. We're so everything on the surface. But that card tells me that there is something sitting under there. This is energy that I am picking up and interpreting. It would be very hard to prove. It would be very hard for him to see, because what he sees is the Empress. He sees these two women caring for the children while he might be out on the spree. According to these cards, the Debauch card and the Hanged Man in reverse. So they're staying at home looking after things while he's off, wherever he's off. But there is that energy, if they are. It's not very clear from that. I'm sensing it more than seeing it overtly. If they are, for the sake of argument again, and this is all speculation here in this reading, as I constantly am reminding you, what are they going to do with it? Are they saving it for a rainy day to perhaps undermine him? We've got the Chariot. Chariot is ambition and drive and moving forward. So at some stage there could be some sort of action, there could be some sort of forward motion in this situation. I'm almost getting a leaving energy, that we have to get in the car and drive away for our own safety. We are taking the children, we are the mother, the grandmother, the babies need to flee the home. That is the narrative that is coming through here with the Chariot card. Have to escape, have to call a cab, have to get away. It's a very, very, very ugly story that's coming through, and I have to again remind you, it is just energy that is coming through here. I'm not stating that this is fact in the household at all. What is going to be the outcome of this rather unpleasant situation? Just generally, what do we have to say? There is a choice coming. There is a choice point coming in this situation. The Lovers card is upright. You could say that it's reconciliation, that everything is great, that they renew their vows, they rekindle their love, and all of this fades away and it all goes away. I could also say with that card that there is a choice to leave, because I've got the Chariot and the build up to this, that the mother gets in the Chariot and leaves and goes somewhere else where there is another man waiting. I'm getting a bit of a Tyler Perry vibe from that man for obvious reasons, interestingly, but it's telling me that someone is facing a choice at some stage. And I would say that it is the woman in this situation facing a choice, not the man. In this particular narrative, in the context of what we are reading on, not in the overall situation of the marriage. So there it is, a tricky reading, some very unfortunate energy coming up for him, for them, and whatever they are planning. I think they are planning to keep it looking good for themselves, perhaps a getaway at some stage, and leaving and going somewhere else where they feel safe, where they feel welcome, where they will be welcomed in and on to something new. That is my interpretation, purely my interpretation, my speculation. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.